My friends, how are you? It is absolutely fantastic to see you for yet another video, and I hope that you are doing well out there. Did you see the big, scary, grumpy Donald Trump supporter that went down to the No Kings protest? And he was going to prove to all the liberals what an absolute badass he was. He was going to go down there and he was going to own the libs and put them all in their place. And then while he was showing off what a tough guy he was, he ended up face planting into the street, sliding down the street on his face and bleeding all over the place. Well, my friends, that is what we're going to talk about today. And I understand the world is an absolutely chaotic, crazy place, and there's much bigger issues going on. But we do need to sometimes take a break. While the world is on fire, basically, America is going bankrupt. The farmers are going bankrupt. People are losing jobs. Small businesses are going under. Donald Trump is bailing out Argentina. It's absolute nonsense going on. Every once in a while, I think it's healthy and therapeutic for all of us to step back for just a minute and laugh at the complete fucking absurdity of this entire MAGA movement. Yeah, while the world burns. I mean, we gotta laugh sometimes, don't we, my friends? So as we know, the MAGA movement is a whole group of beta males that have somehow convinced themselves that they are alpha males while they are submissive to their daddy, Donald Trump. And don't get mad at me for saying that. They're the ones that call him daddy. I'm not the one that came up with that. You can't be mad at me for using the words that they use to describe exactly what is going on. And I know it was, 10 years ago or so that this whole MAGA movement started. And I think a lot of us were really just caught off guard by it, right? We didn't really understand what had happened because the people that we had known all of our lives, sure, they had their things about them that weren't maybe that great. Sometimes they were kind of an asshole, but then out of nowhere, the people in our lives turned into the biggest, most hateful pricks we had ever seen, where our coworkers or our family or our friends who were fairly normal people just a couple days ago had suddenly just started spewing hate out of their fucking mouths constantly, right? And we were all caught off guard by this. And the reason this happened is because Donald Trump himself, who was running for president at the time, gave everyone a permission structure to just come out and say the most vile, hateful things that we've ever fucking heard in our lives. And like I said, I think it just kind of caught us all off guard. We were kind of on our back foot, so to speak, when all of this happened, and we didn't really know how to respond to it, right? It was this super scary thing because a lot of us thought that we were all alone in the world while our whole family and friend group had just lost their ever-loving fucking minds, right? And because of that, the MAGA movement has, as delusional as they are, has somehow convinced themselves that they are a group of badasses that nobody should fuck with, right? You don't fuck with us, we're fucking MAGA, motherfucker, and we don't bow down to no one except Donald Trump, and when Donald Trump says jump, we jump. Boy howdy, that's what we do. And it's a fucking really bizarre thing, right? And when you would challenge the MAGA people on their views, because their views are fucking stupid, they're all bullshit, everything that comes out of their mouth is propaganda and lies and just constant bullshit, when you would call them out on it, they would respond with threats of violence towards you. You guys all know what I'm talking about, right? This isn't like a new thing. I hear it every day. Look, it's not easy being me, my friends, as a damn liberal. I don't know what I am. I'm just a registered Democrat that thinks that fascism is bad. When did that become so fucking weird in America? But anyways, as a truck driver in a MAGA dominated field, I hear about it all the fucking time, my friends. I totally understand what everyone is going through out there. I hear every day about how I'm gonna get my ass kicked if they catch me in that truck stop parking lot, right? If we were to put up a Venn diagram on this cabinet back here, my friends, one circle representing the times that MAGA said they were going to kick my ass when they see me out in the truck stop parking lot, and the other circle would represent the times that MAGA had actually kicked my ass. The circle for MAGA threatening to kick my ass would be like right here, right? And then the circle for the time MAGA has actually kicked my ass would be like 3 fucking states over, like over in Missouri or some shit. Because the fact of the matter is, this is all bluster, this is all an attempt to intimidate and to make you scared of their goofy ass hillbilly movement. I almost said some crazy shit right there. Sometimes I have to stop myself a little bit, my friends. You have to understand. But it's weird. It's weird is what it is. It's a bunch of emotionally stunted men that obviously didn't get the attention that they so desired in their younger years or something, that like to cosplay as complete fucking badasses, right? They're just really big, tough, scary guys. And we're starting to sort of break through that whole facade of how scary the MAGA movement is. And don't get me wrong, they have the potential to be dangerous people. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump has sent the message to them that if you commit crimes on his behalf, he'll probably pardon you, as long as it's like big enough to make the news and shit like that. Like punching me out in the parking lot probably won't get you a pardon, but like on a larger scale, if they were doing something that Donald Trump wanted them to do, they would probably get pardoned for doing that thing, right? And that's kind of obviously a fucking scary thing to think about. But we have to think about the fucking dorks that we're actually dealing with, right? Like, is anybody actually intimidated by Stephen Miller when he gets up and he does a goofy ass speech about, you want to see how hard we are, we're gonna come at you so hard, and all this stupid bullshit? Stephen Miller is a fucking dork. And I know somebody said I shouldn't call him a nerd because they're nerds also, and nerds are actually pretty cool. Somebody commented that yesterday, and you're right, nerds are pretty cool most of the time. Stephen Miller, I don't know what word to use for this fucking guy. He didn't get enough wedgies as a kid. He didn't, or something, or maybe he got too many. I don't fucking know. This guy is the least intimidating person on the fucking planet, though, right? And that's the people that are leading, like, the MAGA movement. If I was walking across the truck stop parking lot and Stephen Miller and Steve Bannon both wanted to jump me, I think I'd be just fine. I think I'd be okay, my friends. I'll get through that one. Don't fucking worry about me. I'll be all right. But anyways, the point that I'm trying to get to is it's all bullshit, every fucking bit of it. And we got to see that on full display here just a couple days ago during the No Kings protest, which was absolutely fucking massive. Congratulations, America. I'd say still not big enough, but momentum is building in the movement against Donald Trump. The first one was estimated 5 million people, and this one was estimated at 7 million people by the last estimates that I saw. So 2 million more people are so fed up with Donald Trump's shit that they decided to take to the streets and go out there and make their voices heard, right? And of course, we don't live in the same country we used to anymore, right? The people on the right used to be on and on about freedom of speech. Your freedom of speech was like the one of the things, and the right to bear arms, of course, but was one of the one things that they said they held very fucking dear. And we have watched repeatedly as they have agreed to have those rights taken away from Americans, is what I'm saying. The latest example was the Jimmy Kimmel thing, right? Obviously, that was Donald Trump himself that wanted Jimmy Kimmel off the air, and that is 100% a violation of free speech in America. And we watched as the MAGA warriors ran to the internet to talk about how it wasn't any different. There was no such thing, and or what was I saying? It wasn't any different from when Obama got Roseanne fired, which is something they're completely fucking making up to justify their tyrant fucking leader that they think has the right to take away free speech in America. And the MAGA dorks are so consumed by the idea that free speech doesn't exist in America, they want to be good little warriors for Donald Trump and fucking go out there and enforce that there is no more free speech in America. So this grumpy little fat dude went out to, I don't know which protest it was in a city, but he went out there to be a counter protester, to be a big, brave, tough guy, right? He's a big boy, and he went out there to show the liberals what a tough guy he was. And he goes out there and he starts arguing with a bunch of people that are at the No Kings protest, shouting stupid shit like, hell yeah, ICE, let's go ICE, and shit like that, putting his racism on full display for everyone to see, obviously, because, well, ICE is an interesting interesting thing now, isn't it? Because not even MAGA believes in the mission of ICE anymore. It's, you know, immigration customs enforcement, right? That's what ICE means. And now the MAGA movement believes that ICE should come after me because I speak out against their leader. The MAGA movement believes that ICE should come after every one of you watching this that is agreeing with what I have to say. It's not about immigration anymore. And it never was. But the point is, it's blatantly not about immigration anymore. It's about arresting people that do not agree with their stupid bullshit backwoods hillbilly political views. That's what the fuck it's really about. But he's out there yelling his racist, goofy ass shit, trying to be a big old tough guy, right? And then some No Kings protesters just kind of started talking a little shit back to him. And this is where that man did what all of MAGA always fucking does. He lost complete control of his emotions. He was no longer in control of his own body anymore, as his emotions had completely taken over, which is the MAGA movement. It's an emotional movement of fucking crybabies that think they didn't get their way for some fucking reason or another. The white man's had it real rough in America, my friends. It's been a real tough time for white men in America for a few hundred years. You know how hard it can be, right? God damn. They see a little bit of equality and they fucking shit their diapers and they act like you've taken away all their fucking rights, right? Anyways, the point is, he lost complete control of his fucking emotions, and he starts chasing down the protesters at the No Kings protest. And while this chubby bastard that hasn't probably worked out a day in his life in at least the last 20 fucking years was proving what a badass he was, he tripped, because you don't just start running. When you get older, that's something you build up to, right? You got to take it slow. But he was trying to be a tough guy. He tripped and he slid. He didn't even put his arms down to try to catch himself, my friends. His reflexes were so slow that he landed on his fucking face and just slid down the fucking street, ass up in the air, just sliding, using his fucking face to break his fall. These are the people that are going to kick all of our asses, my friends. They ain't even got quick enough reflexes to stop themselves from falling over, but they're all tough on the internet and they're going to kick the ever-loving shit out of you if they ever see you. The guy tripped over his own goddamn feet. Then he gets up. He hasn't had enough. He hasn't had enough of this at all. He's still Billy Badass out there, and he's still going to kick the shit out of someone. Just give him a chance. And he starts charging towards someone else, right? He starts charging towards someone else where somebody behind him kicks his fucking leg out from under him. Let me pause right there. This channel does not promote violence, and this channel does not encourage violence. I do not encourage you to go out and attack a MAGA dork. What I do 100% encourage is self-defense and defense of other people around you if you can help it. And that's exactly what happened. This guy was clearly the aggressor in the situation. And what was even more hilarious about his second tumble to the pavement was that he still didn't learn his lesson the first time. As he falls to the ground the second time, his arms are straight at his side. He does not even try to put them down to break his fall, and he slides across the ground on his fucking face again. On his face again. This time he gets up and he's fucking blood running down his fucking face, and nobody had even touched this man besides the little leg kick it put him on his face the second time around. But he was being aggressive. He was charging after someone. But as far as like throwing a punch or anything like that, had not happened yet. This man had thoroughly had his ass kicked by the street 2 fucking times. 2 fucking times, and he was bleeding, and nobody else had done a goddamn thing to the guy. And the reason I took a minute to make fun of that today is because as we go through this, we are going to see an escalation. We have seen many escalations from Donald Trump. A topic for another day probably, but Donald Trump is rapidly losing his support in America, and what I believe we are watching is just that last gasp of a dying regime here in America, and that's probably a topic for another day. But I guess quick response to that is, when you go and bankrupt the people that put you into power, the people that voted for you, you tend to lose popularity. That's just the way it's going. But anyways, Donald Trump is going to continue to escalate his rhetoric, right? And to the few loyal foot soldiers of Donald Trump that are still out there, he loses more and more every day as they realize what is going on. They also are going to continue to escalate. They are going to continue to get more and more agitated and want to find somebody to, I guess, start a fight with and then slide down the street on their face. I don't know. The worst owning of the libs I think I've ever seen in my fucking life, if I'm being honest with you. And it's been bad for a while. All this owning the libs has really been backfiring on a lot of fucking people. But that one was pretty ugly, right? But the point I'm making is how did I say it at the beginning of the video? Like we all got kind of caught off guard by this sudden hostility from all these people we've known all of our fucking lives, right? I believe that over these last 10 years or so, however long it's been since the Maga movement started, they have really thrived on being able to like have that fear over other people. It's for these jokers, for these dorks, this is like the only sense of power they've ever had in their lives. They're like fucking go to work, do the bare minimum type of guys, right? They're not hard workers. They don't try too fucking hard in life. So this one time when they felt like a lot of people feared them, it put them on a power trip where they thought they could just bully the shit out of everyone. And it is shit like that. Watching them make fools of themselves and laughing at them and not being afraid of the bullshit they're saying is going to be an extremely powerful tool moving forward, my friends, as we continue to go through this. Hey, that's the way I handle it. I get told almost daily, you walk across that parking lot, I'm kicking your ass. I don't walk across the parking lot with like shades on and a hoodie. I walk just like this every fucking day. I walk across a few truck stop parking lots. We cannot be afraid. This is what they're bringing. This is their warriors. This guy that's sliding down the street on his fucking face. This is not something to be scared of or intimidated by at all. It has reached the point of just straight up fucking goofy at this point. And there is no reason at all to give them any bit of your time with being afraid of the shit that they're saying, because they are exposing truly who they are. And they are not the scary, terrifying warriors that they have tried to spend all these years convincing America that they are. The MAGA movement summed up is that guy sliding down the street on his face with his ass up in the air, no idea how to stop himself from fucking falling, lost all control of his emotions and is acting like a raving lunatic. That is the MAGA movement at this point. And like I said, there was probably bigger news to cover, but I think this one also matters. We're not up against like this terrifying force that we need to be scared of, we need to bow down to, my friends. They are showing us who they are. With that said, I got to get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.